Yeah, I mean, obviously, both teams are fighting for points to get above the playoff line, and I think it was, almost a game of two halves, right? In the first half, I think we did a really good job of controlling the game. Second half, we started bright and they kind of got into the game, putting a lot of long balls in behind the defense, winning the battle, of territory. But I think towards the end. Um, we created some big chances. And again, I think from just the way the game plays out, the most important thing for me is that we're creating the opportunities. And tonight, again, four big chances, 20 something shots on goal. So from that perspective, it's just about you know, finishing those opportunities. And credit to them, they did a good job. I think they saved that one off the line. I thought Goza did a really good job with that, and continues to impress in his poise in and around the box. But I think we're a bit hard done with not being able to capitalize on one of those opportunities.
Johnny Russell gets the goal in his return to KC, and then he also had a stop there on the goal line, I believe, on one of those kind of set piece plays there in the box. Just thoughts on his play in his some extended minutes tonight.
Yeah, no, I think it's always difficult to come back home, to where you had a good spell of your career, and I think he handled it really good. Again, he took his chance really well, and I think that's just again being in the right spot at the right time. I think his experience always seems to put him in great positions. So now it's back-to-back games with goals, and again, just continuing to try to ramp up those minutes. But he brought a lot of good work on both sides of the ball.
Thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead, Sean. Yeah, Pablo, I was just wondering if you could give me a little bit since you touched on it with Johnny, and I feel like we've been talking about it all week, but did you notice anything a little bit different about him as he kind of came into the stadium? Any extra sense of emotion? Maybe did he hug one of the security guards a little bit longer, or he seems like a guy who tends to be all business most of the time, is why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I think he ran into a couple of his old teammates in the tunnel, and they spent some time chatting and catching up. But Johnny's the consummate professional, and I think and again, I think it's his experience that allows him to both um, enjoy the off the field stuff, but when he steps over that line, he's all business. And I think again, that's a guy that's been there and done that for many years, and so he had a much better return to his old club than I would have anticipated. Not easy to do, and I think it speaks volumes about his mindset.
And then I did want to ask about the play that set up Johnny's goal, the little give and go with Gozo, and then just an incredible. I mean, I guess that's just typical lethal left foot by Katranis in there. But what did you kind of see in sort of that moment in particular with those two?
Yeah, no, it was a good combination play, and again, we've been talking about going, from once we penetrate into the area, any ball set back, we're looking for a half space cross, and I think Alex just put the ball in a wonderful spot, and Johnny attacked it, and I think that's how goals are scored. If Alex puts in a great ball and Johnny's not on the front foot, or if Alex doesn't put in a good ball and Johnny's in a good spot, you're not going to score. So everything has to be aligned to execute a play like that, and I think those three of those guys did a fantastic job on that play.
All right, we'll go to Maddie Casey here in the room.
Hey, Pablo.
Hey, Manny.
Similar to Austin, up 1-0 on the road. Unfortunately, come back and walk away with a point. Do you consider that a point gained or two dropped?
Um, yeah, it's obviously it's difficult. I think I think we came out at halftime, and I thought for the first 15 minutes, I thought we did a really good job knowing that they were going to make some changes, and dealt with those moments really well. And then for the next 15, 20 minutes, I felt like we were under it. And so I look at it more from just how we want to play and how we want to handle those moments. And so that part was a little bit disappointing. But again, they're a really good team. They have some fantastic attacking players. They had some fresh players coming to the game, so it was never going to be easy. But you know, you where I find solace is the way we conducted ourselves with the ball away from home. Again, creating the kind of opportunities that we did. We want to be an attacking team, and I think we did that. And the only thing eluding us as it has been for much of the season is just finishing some of our big chances. And so it's it feels like a draw.
Good enough. And then obviously 7 of 8 of the next are going to be at home. What do you bring from this match to help reclaim that fortress mentality that we've seen from your teams?
Yeah, I think we've been talking about it incessantly in the locker room. How we got to get 10 wins, and the next 2 are at home. We want to make sure that again, none of these games are easy. But I feel like if we play with the same type of mentality that we did against DC a couple weeks ago, we'll create chances. There's no doubt about it. And credit to KC tonight where they finished. It was a good goal. It was a bit of a deflection, but every team has players that can make those plays. And so for us, it's playing a complete game. And that's why before I get emotional about the result, I'm always thinking about how did we perform? Did we perform to our standards? And there's going to be moments when we do a good job of that. And tonight, I thought for long portions of the game we did that. And there's going to be moments where you have to understand as a group where we just have to connect our lines, get tight, absorb pressure, and find the next moment where we can start to now rebuild our attack. So I think those are some of the things that we'll look towards in preparation for our next match. But I feel like we have a good opportunity before us, as you said, 7 games coming, and we just got to continue to do what we've been doing and finish our chances and keep clean sheets.
There looked like composure might have been a little shaky down closer to the 70th minute when personally I thought that hydration break could not have come at a better time.
Mm-hmm.
What was your message to the team right there? And then what were you looking for, you and your staff, when they go down to 10? Are you trying to control and retain your point, or is that when you're?
No, we try to commit, and I think you saw, our right back in this case. Noel is usually a stay-at-home 3, but we were releasing him. Thought he had a couple of really good actions in that, and obviously you want to commit more numbers forward, but they also have Mason Toy at the top line who's got pace, and he's fresh and coming into a game. So I think it's always a balance, but I think we broke in quite a few times up a man. Again, Goes had 2 really good opportunities, and to be fair, they defended them really, really well. And typically, one of those 2 chances goes in. So just really proud of the way the guys attacked it. And on any other day, I think Gozo has a brace.
And then last one for me. I know he only got a few minutes late, but what did you see from Jesus Perea?
Yeah, Jesus has been playing extremely well with the Monarchs, scoring some goals. He's been really sharp in training, and just felt like Diogo was a guy that can really see the field, and putting in a fresh player in Jesus in that 10 role to hopefully get a ball between the lines where he can finish or end up on the end of a good play in the box. So super deserving of the opportunity, and I thought he did well with it.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Let's go first to Brant and then to Jimmy.
Pablo, thoughts on the midfield play? It looks like Kansas City had their way a little bit through the first half, but Nelson and Ruiz kind of played their way into the game and had a little bit better second half. Thoughts on their play, and also thoughts on Mecca, when can you expect him back, if at all, this season, and the status of Ojeda working on his green card to solidify.
Yeah, I think this run of games has been really important for both Pablo and Nelson. I think they're very different players than Emeka and Ojeda. I think Emeka and Ojeda are really destroyers in the middle of the field, and they break lines off the dribble, where I think Nelson and Pablo are both distributors of the ball and break lines with a pass. So yeah, no, I think it was a tough game. Obviously, they have 3 in the middle of the midfield. To our 2, so we were going to always be a bit overloaded. So Gozo did a good job of dealing with their deep line midfielder, and you know, it's not easy in this climate, right? I think the fatigue kind of set in, but I think they're doing a good job. And you know, for me with Pablo, I'd like to see him get on the ball a little bit more and demand the ball a little bit more. I'd like to see him shoot, you know, a little bit more than he does, because I think that's what kind of separates him from the rest of the guys, is he's got an ability to make plays from a deeper position, and I think he's just building fitness, which requires you to be able to get on the ball more, and you know, just I think reps in games to get him to be able to shoot a little bit more from the top of the box, because the moment they start coming out at him, he's got the ability to slip balls in behind to our other attackers. So I think they had a good game tonight, and you know, they'll have another opportunity next weekend. You know, Mecca is still a little ways away. He hasn't been on the grass yet. He's doing some stuff in the training room, so he's probably a couple weeks from even being in a roster. And then Ojeda is, you know, he's been gone for almost a month, you know, so I'm just hoping that sometime in the next couple of days he gets his paperwork and he's back in with the team. So, and I, to be honest, I don't know where he's at. He has obviously been training on his own, but that stuff is not, it doesn't translate to playing soccer on the field on game day. So we'll have to incorporate both those guys in slowly. In the meantime, we need Pablo and Nelson to continue to get reps and do a good job for our group.
Also, the big bugaboo all season has been scoring goals, 19 so far this season, only 6 in the second half of games this year. What are you seeing from the nine? It looks like Gozo was the go-to. Is there any thoughts of just putting Gozo up top and running the offense through him more?
Yeah, well, again, I think the fact that Gozo's getting the chances he's getting is a product of the position that he's playing, right? And you would think naturally if you put him in a different position, he'd have more chances. But to be fair, you know, rarely does a player get 2 big chances per game, and I think I think he gets 2 big chances every game, right? So I don't think the issues is Gozo playing the nine. I think we need just more production and execution from the guys up front to help Gozo out. You know, I think they're doing a good job working as a group, and again, I think for me, Brant, the way I look at it is like you create 4 big chances, which typically are goals, and a little bit like the LA Galaxy game. And today we were one better. We scored one of the 4 big chances, and in football, that's what tactics are all about, is creating spaces for these players to express themselves and get on the end of good opportunities. And unfortunately, this year it's been very difficult to find the back of the net. And the only solution I have is to continue to work in this particular area Monday through Friday, and put the guys in positions to be able to execute. So you know, but I can't say enough about Gozo's industry on both sides of the ball. But more importantly, what I'm seeing in Goz is a maturation where he's now slowing down in these moments that typically in even weeks past, he'd be going at the same speed he was going to receive the ball. And now he's taking a breath. He's lining the guy up. He's got 2 or 3 moves in his head. And again, tonight, the 2 chances that he had in the second half, those on any other day are 2 goals. So Kiddo's doing a great job, and we just need a little bit more from the other guys. But to be fair, you know, Johnny played well, Diogo played well, but Gozo's the one that's getting all these chances because I think his speed and his quickness puts him in great positions to score these goals.
Boys weren't happy, but
You gotta earn that.
they didn't know about it, so can't help.
Let's go ahead and start with Caleb Turner, KSL.com.
Hey, Johnny, congratulations on your goal. Can you just take us through what you saw there and then just your thoughts and emotions after it went in?
Yeah, it's it's something that we've been working on over the past couple of weeks, trying to do more of in training. And I just know when the ball got rolled back that it was gonna get whipped in. It's a great ball, and I managed to get in front of Tim, and you know, I get quite a lot of power on the ball as well that keeps John sort of. Don't think he expected it, to be honest. So no, just great ball. I got really good connection on it, and yeah, it was a strange feeling. there was some people behind the goal that weren't too happy. But yeah, it's, you know, I've made, we spoke about it before the game. I've made no secret I wanted to stay here. The team didn't want me to stay here. So I move on, and you know, I'm doing my job for RSL now.
I know you mentioned that you thought this return was going to be a little bittersweet for you. How was this weekend in general? Just going back to Casey.
Yeah, just the whole thing leading up to it's very strange. Pretty emotional as well. You know, taking it all in. Obviously, a great reception from the fans, and you know, I'd always said that since the minute I walked in the door at Sporting, they were incredible with me, and it still remains that way to this day. And I could never thank them enough or repay them enough for, you know, what they gave to me and my family. So yeah, just the whole thing leading up to the game, flying into KC, staying at the hotel, just yeah, completely different experience leading up to a game here. But you know, I enjoyed it. I think 1-1's probably a fair result in the end.
And then this is back-to-back games with goals for you. Are you feeling like in a good run of form, you can kind of keep this one going for the next few games?
Yeah, you know, I've scored goals throughout my career, and you know, I've started back-to-back games. It's my first, you know, my last start was my first start since October last year. So yeah, it's going to take time. I'm still building that fitness. I'm still not fully at my best. That just comes with games and fitness, but scoring goals and helping the team is why I'm here. And yeah, I'm just enjoying being able to play. That's what I always wanted to do, continue playing, and I've got an opportunity to do that here.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Sean Walker.
Yeah, Johnny, I just got one quick follow-up from something you said there about the reception. And I noticed before the game the fans gave you a really nice ovation, and you caught notice of it. Did it catch you off guard at all?
Um, I mean, you never quite know what to expect. But yeah, it kind of, I knew, I mean, I knew it was going to be emotional coming in for me, and that did catch me a little off guard, and it just took me a little second. But no, I can't say it enough. The appreciation that I've got for what they gave me, and you know what they gave me again tonight is no, they're special, and I think that's the appreciation. They knew that I gave them everything I had, and yeah, it was it was a really nice moment for me personally to come back here and get that sort of reception.
Let's go in the room here to Maddie Casey.
Congratulations on the goal, brother.
Thank you.
Obviously entirely too classy to celebrate. But I noticed as you rolled away that you did give a thumbs up to someone in the cauldron. Was that a specific fan, someone with a sign, someone with a jersey?
No, that was someone who was giving me. I actually can't show you or tell you what they done, but it was just sort of directed towards them. But well, I get it. Like not everyone's going to be happy. But yeah, I didn't want to celebrate the goal. I just saw that reaction and just give them a little thumbs up that I had seen it. So yeah, you can't please everyone.
Good, thanks, man.
No problem, man.
Gentlemen.
I mean, you talk about kind of weird. Does it feel weird, even the arrival of the stadium, coming in the wayside? Just how different was the whole build up to the game for you?
Probably started on Thursday. Started doing the video sessions leading up to the game and scouting on Sporting instead of being a part of it. That, and then Friday, obviously flying in here, going to the hotel, yeah, and then coming to the stadium, walking into the away change room. I'd actually never been in there until tonight. So yeah, just the whole thing, walking onto the field, just yeah, just everything that, just opposite to everything that I'm used to here. But the reception was incredible, and you know I was always looking forward to coming back here. But that, that was special for me.
And then, tonight at halftime, I know you're in the locker room, but Matt Beasley got inducted into the Sporting Legends. I mean, you played with him for a couple of years. Just what did Matt mean to you in those early years here?
Oh, Matt, he's a legend. He was a legend before he went up there. And incredible guy, incredible leader, incredible player. And when I first came here, he was my roommate as well. So kind of looked after me, and showed me the ropes. And that sort of group led by him, really sort of made me understand very quickly what it means and what it takes to play here. And that's something that I then obviously carried through my career here. So I genuinely cannot speak highly enough of the guy. Really, really good guy, really good friend. Extremely funny guy as well, that not many people get to see that side of him, but very dry sense of humor. And just, yeah, absolutely love the guy. And I'm a little gutted that I didn't get to see him go up there. But I caught him on his way around. Hopefully he's still going to be here and I can have a little toast with him, and congratulate him fully.
Johnny, did you feel like you had any type of point to prove tonight? You mentioned you wanted to stay at the club, wanted to go in a different direction.
No, I don't feel like I had anything to prove. Like I said, I was here for 7 years. I gave everything that I had here. The one thing I wish I could have gave the city was a trophy, but out with that, I couldn't have gave any more. I wanted to stay here. I wanted to finish my career here. I was very vocal about that. They wanted to move on. They wanted to do something different. So it was nothing to prove, just more of a, like I told you, that I was still able to compete. And yeah, that was that. But there's no hard feelings. I get it. It's the business we're in. Things weren't going well. They wanted to move on, try something different. I didn't think it was the right decision at the time. Still don't. But no, there's no hard feelings. I'm going to go in and see everyone now and sort of catch up and reminisce. So no, I'm looking forward to getting in there and seeing the guys.
All right, let's go to Brant Goebel and wrap this up.
Johnny, congratulations. Wonderful goal this evening. You find yourself maybe not in the next phase, but a new phase of your career in a new place. And you find yourself probably being one of the more experienced and accomplished players on a relatively young team. Is that a role you embrace, being a mentor and example?
Yeah, that's something I took great pride in, being the captain at Sporting as well, helping out the younger guys and sort of being that voice. And one of the main reasons I was brought here, something we spoke about very early on, is that sort of experience that I have to help the guys and in difficult moments, help the young guys as well. And probably a lot younger squad than I have been used to. But it's something that I'm really enjoying. Great bunch of young guys that we've got here, and watching them sort of grow and take the sort of first steps in their career, and sort of remembering when I was coming through, the things that helped me, the people that helped me, and just sort of trying to help them in that way. Don't want to sort of try and be their dad too much. But they've been coming to me asking a lot of questions and ways to improve and certain things to do in games. So that's been great for me as well, to help in that sense. And yeah, just different, like you said, different phase for me now. But I'm enjoying every minute of just being able to play. That's what I want to do. I still love the game. It's all I've known, and I want to play it as long as I possibly can. And if I'm still contributing, then I'm still going to play.
Thank you.
No problem, guys.
Thank you, Johnny.
No problem, guys.
Enjoy the evening.
Oh, I will.
Hi guys, Justin Glad. Caleb.
Hey Justin, another close one with KC. How did it feel out there? Was there some tension? And I guess how do you feel like this one ended up for you guys?
Yeah, I think our whole locker room is disappointed with the result, honestly. Felt like we created some good opportunities. Obviously the first 20 minutes was a little iffy, but I felt like after that we should have come out with a better result and close it away. So yeah, I think everyone's just disappointed.
You got a big opportunity coming up next month with 4 home games. Are you guys looking forward to that? And what are your expectations going into that stretch?
Yeah, absolutely. Home games are always, an opportunity that you have to grab full force. So we're buzzing about it. We know what we need to do. We need to get points, climb the table, and get above that playoff line. So yeah, we're excited for the opportunity.
Lastly, for me, you played alongside Sam there at center back. What's it like playing alongside him as opposed to with Brian?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Obviously, you after having played with Brian for so long, we kind of understand each other on a really good level. But Sam's obviously a great player, and he's done really well playing left back and left center back. So it's been good, and every game we get more and more comfortable together. So I thought he played well and filled the position great.
Thank you.
Sean?
Yeah, just real quick from me, Justin. I wanted to ask about another one of your teammates in Goso. Goso's obviously having a pretty incredible start to his career, really, and this season's going really well for him. We saw him even kind of mixing it up, getting a little bit chippy in there, which I think the fans really like to see in this rivalry. Some, what have you noticed about him that's where he's been able to? I mean, he's barely 18 years old, right? But he's been able to adapt really well to kind of the start of his career. Almost reminds me of a young Justin Glad in some ways.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's been incredible. He's learning every game. His confidence right now is through the roof, which is always good. Even in training, you can see it. He's finishing everything, which is exactly where you want him to be. And as long as he keeps progressing how he is, I think the sky's the limit for him. He could go on to do really great things, and it's just about staying humble, working hard, and all that will come.
Anything else, Sean? Brant?
Justin, once again, the game against Kansas City was just as everyone expects, was such a great rivalry. What was it a little different, helping a former opponent in Johnny Russell score against his home team? That must look like everybody had a great time helping him celebrate or not celebrate.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean Johnny's an incredible guy, an incredible human, great soccer player. So, I think we were all buzzing for him. We obviously having played against SKC and having him on the other side for all those years. It's nice to have him on our side. And for him to get the goal, obviously knowing the history he has here is incredible. I think we might have been, more excited than he was, honestly.
Thank you. And also, big month next in July, lots of home games. How do you not let the pressure build up and worry? How do you keep it one game at a time with so many home games?
Yeah. No, I think that's how we always take it. It's just one game at a time. One game at a time. You can't look too far ahead, because you'll miss the details for the game at hand. So for us, it's just about you know handling the games as they come, and you can't look to that fourth game, third game when you haven't taken care of that first one. So we know every game is going to be a battle. Every game is going to be tough. But at this point in the season, it's we need the 3 points. So we almost can't afford to look ahead 4 games.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else for Justin? Amazing. Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey guys, we will send out the train.